Going to keep it short and sweet today. For the first Sunday of Lent, I'd just like to take a couple of minutes to remind people of the basic idea. This is a day for a gentle start to things before some heavy stuff comes at us closer to Holy Week. The word Lent is not in the Bible. As most of us are aware, there are people in the world who will literally complain about anything. Once, I had a Protestant minister complain directly to my face that Lent was a corrupt Catholic concept because the word Lent wasn't in the Bible. I didn't take him seriously enough to bother explaining the rudimentary error of that statement. I had no real reason to believe that he had any interest in bettering his understanding of what Lent is and why we've done it for centuries. But anyway, here is the response to that complaint. Although the word Lent is not in the Bible, the concept is. It was our gospel today. Jesus was baptized and then tempted in the desert for 40 days. He ate nothing and spent those 40 days in prayer. He was coming to terms with who he was and what he was being called to do. And everyone needs a period of time in their life for exactly that. For me, that was the thing I appreciated the most with respect to my 2 years in the Peace Corps. I, like Jesus, was alone in the desert, figuratively, not literally. And for the first time in my adult life, I had plenty of time to think about who I was and what I wanted to do with the majority of my life. Our busy American lifestyle does not make that process easy for us, so we, as Americans, we need to make more effort for that basic human need. Anyway, Jesus was tempted 40 days in the desert. We are tempted 40 days in Lent. Can we say no to our pleasures and yes to greater acts of sacrifice for the sake of Christ's Holy Spirit? Yeah, you can keep it simple. You can say no to chocolate. But you can do better than that. Can you say no to coffee or alcohol? I was thinking about saying no to coffee for Ash Wednesday. That plan lasted until 6:30 a.m. Just wasn't in the cards. Can you say no to your smartphone? Can you say yes to a rosary every day? That's 20 minutes of sacrifice per day for an average prayer. Can you say yes to giving $20 extra to charity per week? The details are yours to decide, of course, but you're supposed to do something. Exercise your spirit the way you exercise your body. You can either give up fatty, delicious food, or you can run on the treadmill. Either choice is healthy. You can either give up something pleasurable that you frankly do not need, or you can take on something holy that you normally ignore. Either choice is righteous. And obviously, in both cases, you can do one, the other, or both. This is the core idea of Lent. Let's emulate Christ in the desert and come face to face with our temptations for the sake of doing better somehow. If you haven't chosen your Lenten sacrifice by now, get on it. It is not too late. Consider it part of your holistic health, that is, your entire health, because you have your bodily health, emotional health, mental health, and spiritual health. All of them matter, and all of them add or subtract to one another due to our actions and behavior. I'll conclude with just one final statement. We all know what it means to be the slave of another person, chains and what have you. It is also possible to be a slave to things. And here's what that means. Excellent quote I read very recently. We are slaves to whatever we cannot part with that is less than ourselves. We are slaves to whatever we cannot part with that is less than ourselves. So that means that it doesn't apply to God, it doesn't apply to your spouse, but it does apply to those material pleasures best given up for Lent. So let's not be slaves to the lesser things that surround us every day, and be devoted to Christ above all.